Hi, welcome to Lesson 3. In this lesson, we're going to be rounding to the nearest 10 or 100. To complete this lesson, you'll need pages 10 through 14 from your book, the 10-sided dice and the 6-sided die from your math box, and a small safety pin or paper clip to use as a spinner. You will also need an adult's help for 2 of the games in this lesson, so go ahead and tell them that now. Let's start our multiplication practice. 3 times 3 is 9. 6 times 6 is 36. 5 times 3 is 15. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 8 is 64. 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 5 is 25. 9 times 9 is 81. And 6 times 4 is 24. All right, let's look at our skip counting practice to start our lesson. The first thing it asks you to do is skip count by 4s from 4 to 48. So you're going to start with 4, and then you're going to add on 4 each time. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to do that now. We have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. Next, you're going to skip count by 1,000s from 1,000 to 10,000. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. So in this lesson, we're going to be looking at rounding, which is finding the nearest round number to make an estimate. When you think about round, do you think about a circle? Which number looks closest to a circle? 0. Our round numbers end with a 0. So it's either a 10 or a 100 that a number that you're rounding is in between. Every Thursday night, Bo and Chun's family goes to the outdoor street market to sell flowers, fruits, and vegetables from their garden. So far, Bo has earned $58 selling his vegetables. Chun has earned $51 selling flowers, and their mother Lee has earned $65 selling pomegranates. When their father asked how much they had earned, everyone rounded their earnings to the nearest 10. So, Bo said, I earned about $60. Chun said, I earned about $50. And their mother said, I earned about $70. In math, the word about means a number is rounded. Sometimes when dealing with a lot of numbers or very high numbers, it helps to get an estimate of the numbers first. We call this rounding. Rounding is replacing a number with a number close in value but easier to work with. Let's review rounding to the nearest 10. Look at this number line. The number 51 is between 50 and 60. Those are the two round numbers it's in between. If I were to count from 50 up to 60, I would say the number 51. It is closer to 50 than 60. It's only one hop away from 50, but it is 9 hops away from 60. So 51 becomes 50 when rounded to the nearest 10. If you look, this is the halfway point. It is less than halfway, so it's going to round down to 50. Is 58 closer to 50 or closer to 60? Let's look at the number of hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hops to get to 50, or 2 hops to get to 60. It's definitely closer to 60. So 58 rounds up to 60 when rounded to the nearest 10. So if you think about the halfway point between those two round numbers, anything below halfway is going to round down, and anything above halfway is going to round up because it'll be closer to this side. So which way should you round a number that's exactly halfway between two tens? 65 is halfway between 60 and 70. When you're halfway, you just have to follow a rule. It's 5 equal jumps to either number. So because we like to have a standard way to do things, we always say that halfway rounds up. It's always going to go up. So a rule is if the digit to the right of the place you're rounding to is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you round down. If it is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you're going to round up. Let's practice rounding numbers to the nearest 10. First, circle the digit in the ones place, which is the place to the right of the tens place. If the digit is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, then the digit in the tens place stays the same. If the digit in the ones place is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then raise the digit in the tens place by 1 to round up. Draw a line to the box with the answer. So if you notice, each of these numbers actually has a digit in the hundreds place. We're not really concerned about what's happening in the hundreds place. We're just going to leave that the same. The digit that may or may not change is in the tens place. And then in the ones place, that's always going to be our round number, which would be 0. Okay, so let's take a look at these. The first one we have is 143. So it says to circle the digit in the ones place. Let me get a smaller pen. I'm going to circle the digit in the ones place, and I'm going to decide, is this closer to 140 or 150? Since 3 is closer to the 0 on a number line, I'm going to round down to 140. So then I will draw my line to 140. On 167, let's circle this ones place. Does 7 make it go up or down? It's going to go up to what number? This tens digit is going to go up to a 7, so that makes 170. In 135, we're looking at the 5. Now remember, a 5 is halfway, and halfway always goes up. So this 3 is going to become a 4. The 1 will stay the same, and the 5 will get rounded. So 135 rounds to 140. 151, have a 1 in the ones place. That makes the 5 stay the same. So 151 rounds to 150. 124, the 4 in the ones place tells us that we need to round down. So the 2 will stay the same, and it will round to 120. 162 has a 2 in the ones place. 2 rounds down, so the 6 stays the same. And 162 rounds to 160. 129 has a 9 in the ones place, which means it rounds up. So this 2 is going to become a 3. So this rounds to 130. So we draw the line to 130. How did you do? In this section, we're going to be rounding to the nearest 100. So that means the number we're rounding to will have 2 zeros on the end. Bo and Chun rounded more numbers at the market. They counted 269 customers who walked past their stand. This time they rounded to the nearest 100. So I want you to think about what is half of 100. Half of 100 is 50. So halfway between any hundreds is going to have 50. Look at the number line below. Is 269 closer to 200 or 300? Well, we know 69 is greater than 50, so it's going to be more than halfway, so it's going to round up to 300. Some of the customers went home and only 238 remained. Round to the nearest 100 again. Is 238 closer to 200 or 300? Well, 38 is less than 50, so we know 38 is going to round down to 200. We can also look at the digit in the tens place to help us determine if we're going to round up or down. When we round to the nearest 100, we look at different place values because we always look at the digit to the right of the one we want to round to. So to the right of the hundreds place is the tens place. So if you're rounding to the nearest 100, you have to look at the tens place. But the same rules apply. First, circle the digit in the tens place, which is to the right of the hundreds place. If the digit is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, then the digit in the hundreds place stays the same. It stays the same, we say that it rounds down. If the digit in the tens place is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then raise the digit in the hundreds place by 1 to round up. So if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we're going to round up to the next 100. So here we have 349. If we're looking to round to the nearest 100, we have to look at the tens place. 4 tells us that we need to round down, so that 3 is going to stay the same. In 462, when we look at the tens place, we see that it's 6, and 6 rounds up, so it's going to go to the next 100. Instead of being 400, it will be 500. With rounding, it does not matter how many digits are to the left of the place value you're rounding to. They stay the same. Round the numbers to the nearest 100 and circle the correct answer below. Okay, let's look at this first one. 1,254. The 5 tells us that we need to round up. So this 2 becomes a 3, so we get 1,300. If we're rounding 2,381, we look at the 8. It tells us to round this 3 up. So 2,381 rounds to 2,400. And in 3,746, the 4 tells us that we're going to round down. So the 7 will stay the same, so it rounds to 3,700. Okay, this is the part you need an adult to help you play. You're going to need to take the 10-sided die and the 6-sided die from the math box. You're going to roll both dice together to create a number. For example, if you roll a 7 and a 2, you can choose to create the number 72 or 27. Then you round that number to the nearest 10 and claim the space on the box by writing an X in that space. Then your grown-up is going to do the same thing. They'll follow the same steps, roll both dice, make a number, and round it, but they're going to write an O over their space. If the correct answer is already claimed, then you do not get to mark a space. You lose your turn. The person to capture the most spaces wins. If you roll a 10, treat it like a 0. So let's say you did roll a 7 and a 2, and you decided to make 72. If you round 72 to the nearest 10, you would mark the space for 70. If you chose to make it 27, 27 rounds up, so you would mark 30, but you only get to choose one. The next game is called Spin and Round. You're going to need either your safety pin or a paper clip and put the tip of your pencil through the looped end so you can make a spinner, and you're going to hold it right here. So your safety pin or your safety clip will be going over here, and then you are going to hold it steady and flick the paper clip to make it spin around, and then it's going to land on a space, and you round that number to the nearest 100. Then your grown-up is going to do the same thing. Whoever has the greater number wins that round and puts a check mark in their box. The first person to win 3 rounds is the winner. Then put your safety pin or paper clip in the math box when you finish. All right, it's time for Lesson 3's lesson practice. This is page 12 in your book, and this is the part where I'm going to read it to you and talk you through it, but I'm not going to give you the answers. Your parent or adult is going to need to check your answers for you. Okay, at the top of this page, it says round each number to the nearest 10 and circle the answer. So here we have 28. You're circling either 20 or 30. Here we have 415. You're choosing to either round it to 410 or 420. Remember the rule. Here you have 244. Is that going to round down to 240 or up to 250? Circle one of those. On the bottom part of the page, you're going to round each number to the nearest 100 and circle your answer. So 245, this 4, is it going to round down to 200 or up to 300? 1,350, is it going to round to 1,300 or 1,400? And 953, is it going to round down to 900 or up to 1,000? Remember, on these you can look and see, is 45 less than halfway or more than halfway? Is 50 is halfway, so which way does it go? And is 53 more than halfway or less than halfway? After the market closed, Bo and Chun walked home, counting their steps as they went. They counted 254 steps. Circle the correct answers. Number 1, round 254 to the nearest 10. Number 2, round 254 to the nearest 100. In this section, you're going to round each of these numbers to the nearest 10. Okay, don't forget that that hundreds place is going to stay the same. In this section, you're going to round to the nearest 100 and write your answer in the box. Remember, anything with a thousands place is just going to stay the same for that place. The pomegranate is such a common fruit in China that it is sometimes called the Chinese apple. Pomegranates can have up to 1,400 seeds. Chun's pomegranate had 857 seeds. Round 857 to the nearest 100 and write your answer in the box. Bo's pomegranate had 742 seeds. Round 742 to the nearest 100 and write your answer in the box. About, remember when we see the word about, that means round first. About how many pomegranate seeds did Chun and Bo have all together? Add the rounded numbers from the green boxes to find the answer and write the answer in this box. All right, now it's time for our review and activities. This is on page 13. Up at the top it says, for each addition problem, write the number shown in expanded form in the green box and then add. So you're going to take the number from expanded form and write the standard form in the green box. Then you're going to add it up. Do that part now. Okay, now that you've completed those, read the story problem, write and complete a problem that represents the story problem. Chun had 3 vases of flowers to sell at the market. She counted the petals in each vase. The first vase had 45 petals. The second vase had 75 petals. And the third vase had 50 petals. Write 45, 75, and 50 in the boxes and add those numbers together. How many petals does she have all together? Finally, under this vase picture, circle all the odd numbers. Remember that odd numbers always end with 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. That means the ones place cannot be evenly divided. Like if you were sharing between two people, there would be one left over if it's odd. Okay, this is the last part. We have another logic problem. There is a type of flower that is common in China. It ranges in color from white to pink. Each blossom closes at night and opens in the morning. To figure out the name of the flower, complete the skip counting pattern. Use the key to find the answers and decode the name of the flower. So you're going to figure out the missing numbers, and then you're going to write whatever number is here. You're going to put that letter from the clues at the top from the key into that numbered space. So find the number, find its letter up here using the key, and then write it in that numbered space up above to make the name of the flower. Congratulations! You have completed Lesson 3. Give your pages to your parent or teacher to check your work. And don't forget to be practicing those multiplication facts. I'll see you next time.